Okay, so I wanted to sort of announce this a while ago, but I needed to make sure that I had 100% confirmation because it was a big deal for me. This was a huge mission that actually took, I would say, like a couple years. It's been a couple trips of me like coming up to the Sierras, and one of my main focuses has been the Angels Postpile. Now, it has gone through a major shift, a transformation, and I really have done some inner understanding of this place, and it's called for a new name. Now, I'll explain to you why I feel this is occurring, but basically, rewind a couple years. Like I said, I went into this area in Mammoth Lakes that is just so otherworldly. And my niche is vortex energy. I feel that I'm meant to study this type of science that occurs on the land. And I'm starting to sort of understand this scientific language that is spoken in different areas of these places that I feel are sacred. I had to get up like at 4 a.m. just to be able to get past the gates because there's certain hours where you can't go. There is this energy that starts to envelope you as you start to descend. And I remember vlogging to you guys, like, I had to do it twice. Like, one morning I tried to go and the energy was so strong. My instruments on my vehicle were like going crazy. I was feeling crazy. It just felt like, okay, this is a energetic gateway. And a lot of times my job is to just basically decode the gateway's lock. So there is a lock sometimes on sacred lands that karmically or for other reasons, like your spirit is needing to create different agreements or contracts. And this is basically for people that are very like in tune, very mindful of what they're doing. You see these tourists going down on these, bus loads of people. They have different consciousness and they're not going with the same intention. So for me, it was like a rite of passage. It was just like I knew I couldn't just get on the tour bus and go down. I needed to make sure that I was focusing on like the holy rite, the passage of my spirit into this sacred place. And like I said, there was these very, very clear pinpoints, these gateways along the road going down. And so I had to turn around the first day at one of these gateways. So I knew I had to go home. I knew I had to recalibrate. I basically had to like integrate all of the information the land was sending me, the ley lines, the encodings, all the different layers of the history. I was being downloaded. And it was almost like Gaia herself was saying, okay, hold on, honey. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. And where have we gone through this before? Like I know very well. So I honored that. And so I decided to go back to the Postpile another day. Same thing, got up super early, drove out of our place, went up the mountain. I believe I may have even recorded some of this, and you guys saw how intense it was for me to just go and do ceremony in this area. It was so powerful, the shift that was occurring in the energy fields. Now, fast forward, time has gone on. It's been about a year since I've been there. And this year, being in Mammoth, I had other work. I was basically scouting a different forest. And at the same time, a lot of my meditations, I could still see in my vision the minarets and that area. So I was still getting the encodings, the downloadings, and the land was speaking to me very clearly. Can you continue to give your loving light attention to this area? And I feel like I'm being asked to call onto you, my beloved, beautiful light friends who are in tune with their energy, to go ahead and open up into your heart chakra that blessing of, that loving light connection that you probably have with this area as well. This type of erosion through fire, magma, ice. Who knows what this area has in store for you? This type of powerful healing. It's basically a temple. I've felt for this reason that the name had to go. And I know some of you who are listening who shouldn't probably be here because you're for the devil. I'm sorry. It's just so tired. Naming all of the sacred places one after another after the devil, I mean, that's so tiring. We're gonna do something else. It was like, well, what should it be? I don't know. I'm not just gonna pretend I know. So I was open to what the universe had in mind, and there was a lot of extraterrestrial interference in that place. I'm just gonna be honest with you. There's some crazy stuff going on in there, and the work that I do it was almost like I had to fight for these missions. It wasn't just, like I said, me going on the tour bus and hanging out at the Postpile. No, it was like a warrior, like fighting their way through these ancestral, karmic, generational curses. And just imagine like waking up 4 a.m. deep in a forest and just like getting up to go see this like temple. I was so mystified. And I basically feel like I've been shown that they want it to be called Angel's Postpile.
And by they, I mean my higher self, as in the I am God presence that I am.
And I was thinking, well, maybe it should be called Aliens Postpile. And they're like, no, it's Angel's Postpile. We're actually going to do that duality shift, from the devil to the angel. We're going to hold space for the energy to balance out. It can either be the devil, the angels, or aliens, whatever you want it to be. But we are making a shift.
Hey, get the f*** out of here!
So I was really sort of happy that this amazing mystical place is going through a light transformation. I was watching this couple that they're on here on YouTube, and they're sort of like known for being just super world-class hikers, okay? These people are hiking some mountains. They had no words to describe the area. For a long time, the man kept asking the girl, like, what do you think happened here? And I was just kind of like a little bit nervous that she was just going to be like, well, the devil. It was really refreshing when she finally like gave a word to what she thought had happened, and she said aliens. And I was just like, oh my God, thank you. Like, humans, we're thinking out of the devil box. We're thinking at least in different terms. Like anything could have happened. Anything other than the dark forces, at least we're thinking aliens. It could have been angels. It could have been anything. But I was just so refreshed in that moment, and I wanted to share that with you. And I think that's just what Gaia wants us to do, is to just send some light into this area and to just know that this is a beautiful, sacred place that we get to enjoy.